Yes, sir.
Hello and welcome to the Ross Clown Podcast. I'm your host, Carl Ross Sr. And this platform was created to motivate and to inspire in hopes that you will become a better you. I want to give a shout out to all of those that are listening in North Carolina. Stand up right here in the Gate City, right here in Greensboro. Those that are listening in the Queen City, Charlotte, North Carolina. Those that are listening over in Winston-Salem, the Trey Foe. Boop, 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 boop. What it do, baby? So glad that everybody is listening all over the world. We want you to know that you are valuable and you are important. And today, our special guest that we have in the building is the one and the only, I call him Woo, James Washington Jr.
Yep. What's good, man?
What's happening, man?
Nothing, man. Happy and glad to finally be on the podcast. We've been talking about this for a while.
Man, we've been talking about this for a minute,
and I
man.
kept telling you, I'm ready, man. I'm with it.
For sure.
Yeah, today, we finally
Making it happen,
making
right?
it happen, yeah. So I'm happy, very blessed, and very excited to be here. I appreciate the opportunity for you allowing me to be on your platform, man. So
Right on, man.
truly blessed, and I really appreciate it, man.
For sure, man. Listen, I'm so glad that you are here, first and foremost, man.
Word.
And this has been just a journey. First of all, I got to tell you, thank you for being a part of this journey with me.
No problem.
But
Thank you for the opportunity, though.
Yeah, man. But I'm also excited, man, about seeing what you're doing in your own personal life.
Thank you.
So we'll go ahead and get right on into it, and we'll take the people on a journey, man, and
Word.
take them on this journey of life with you.
Word.
And let's go ahead and get started. So let's talk about Woo for a minute. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? Let's start. Where did it all start for you, Woo?
Woo, September 24th, 1980. That's when it started.
80s, baby.
Honolulu, Hawaii, in a big pink hospital on top of the hill, Tripler Army Medical Hospital. That's where I was born.
Did you say a pink hospital, bro?
Yeah, it's a big pink hospital on top
Wow.
of the hill. Yep. Every time
Wow.
I tell everybody where I was born at, I make sure I say that.
Yeah.
I was born in Hawaii. My father, he was military.
Okay.
I'm the second child of James and Marilyn Washington. There's four of us. It's my older brother, myself, my youngest brother, and then my sister. She's the baby. So that's pretty much where it started at. We traveled the world with my father. He was a military person.
So you was a military brat then.
Military brat. Yep. And that's why I named my children's book after. Remember the children's book I have? The Military Brat. The
Talked about
Experience.
it.
Yeah. The name of my children's book is The Military Brat, The Experiences of Pooh, New Faces. It just pretty
Wow.
much talks about
I forgot we had that discussion about that.
Yeah. So
Wow, man.
Yeah. It's about me moving to Maryland.
Okay.
My father was in the military. We first moved to Maryland, and I was a shy kid growing up.
Sure.
Not a lot of people knew that I was shy, and then come to find out, sitting with therapists as an adult, I deal with social anxiety as well.
I got you.
So I didn't know that as a kid. At the time, I thought it was just me being shy.
What were some of the things that you went through? What's some of the things that you saw? I know you just
social
said the shyness, but
so-
explain to people a little bit about
Social
that.
anxiety, for me, when I get in large crowds, if I get in a lot of people, I can walk in the mall and I will get, like, it would start to, like an attack is about to come on.
Got you.
Hairs on the back of my neck. I'm starting to breathe hard. Matter of fact, it's probably happened probably about 2.5 weeks ago.
Got you.
I was walking in the mall.
It just happened recently?
Yeah.
Wow.
I was walking in the mall, and I felt it coming.
Mm.
And I remember I tried to call my wife, but I think she was taking a nap. Come to find out, yeah, she was taking a nap because when I got home, I walked in the room, and she was just kind of laying and sleeping in the dark. So she was
Sure.
taking a nap. But I tried to call my wife so she can kind of like talk to me and just kind of calm me down with it.
Sure, man.
But of course, she was taking a nap. Not mad at that. That's my
Yeah.
wife. I ain't tripping because she getting her rest on.
Yeah.
But just walking through the mall and just a just anxiety started to attack me.
Is it because of, like you said, the large crowds? It's
so
a lot of people
yeah,
around.
It's so many people
Wow.
around, and I recognized it because then I started to recognize I was looking paranoid. Every 2 seconds I'm looking, and the hairs on my back are starting to raise. I'm starting to breathe fast. I'm starting to breathe hard. So I
Gotcha.
knew I had to get out of the mall, man.
Yeah.
I was hungry too. I stopped and grabbed me something to eat first.
No doubt. No
I
doubt.
stopped to grab me something to eat first.
That anxiety wasn't that messed up.
Crazy part is once I got into the line, and this is how it usually happens when I try to calm myself down, I have to get my back up against the wall.
Gotcha.
And it was like this pillar. So I just kind of put my back up against the pillar.
Got you.
And just kind of like started looking around. And that kind of gave me some
So
sort of
it put you in
comfort.
control.
Yeah.
Because at that moment, you were out of control. You really couldn't
Yeah.
see like
Yeah.
180 degrees.
Panicking.
Yeah, you can't just do like, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So a lot of people don't know that I am diagnosed with that. A lot of people don't know that I do have that. Like when my mother probably see this interview, she's probably going to be like, son, I didn't know that.
I'll be honest with you, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Because you didn't. And we've been in some rooms where it's been quite a few people.
I'm comfortable with you. And and at the time I was comfortable with those people.
I got you.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But when I first got there, y'all didn't recognize I was
Nah, I got you.
sweating.
But you
on
was
the
sweating.
arm.
You was
Man, I'm telling you.
okay. I got
So,
you. I got you.
Yeah, so I deal with that, and that's pretty much what the children's book is about.
Okay.
It talks about me overcoming my shyness with the help of my mother. Shout out to moms, Maryland, Washington, out there in Maryland. Yeah, give it a hand clap.
Mom.
So shout out to her. So the book is dedicated to her for helping
Yeah.
me, overcome shyness, or giving me the tips to overcome shyness.
So how
'Cause
can people
sometimes
get this book? I don't mean to
you-
cut you off, but tell us how can people get the book?
Yes, sir. Y'all can hit me up on all my platforms on It's Just Me Woo or Lunchbox Dreams Media on Instagram, on Facebook, or you can just go to Amazon, type in The Military Brat, The Experience of Pooh, New Faces,
I like it.
and you can be able to find it up on there. But yeah, so the children's book, like I said, is just encouraging other kids.
That may be going through the same thing.
Exactly.
You never know. Sometimes you see kids and they're shy.
Exactly.
That's the last thing you think.
Mm-hmm.
It's social anxiety.
Social anxiety or just shyness.
Just shyness, period.
A lot of people, they think being shy and social anxiety is the same thing. They're two totally different things.
Wow.
Yeah, they're
Wow.
two totally different things. So I would encourage people to kind of educate themselves on it, because a lot of people think, well, it go hand in hand. Not necessarily.
I got you.
You know what I'm saying? It's just that I dealt with both of them. I was
I got
shy,
you.
but I was also dealing with social anxiety. I still deal with social anxiety.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's just, the children's book is about me seeing a group of kids outside playing football.
I got you.
I wanted to go outside, but I was just shy.
You was just shy.
And I didn't know how to,
So when did you write this book, Woo?
I wrote this book in 2014, and I think I released it in 2016.
Got you.
Yeah.
So this was over a period of time before you wrote this
Yeah,
book.
absolutely.
And then all of a sudden you said there's a need for kids. I went through this.
Right. So initially I was going to write a full-length novel, autobiography,
Okay, got you.
talking about me.
Okay.
I knew I didn't have the patience. I knew I didn't have the patience to sit there and type out. So I knew it was going to take a process.
Sure.
I knew it was going to take a while to sit down and kind of like pinpoint which events out of my life that I wanted to pinpoint.
Sure.
And then I sat back and I thought about it, and I said, what demographic do I want to target when I'm writing the book?
Yeah.
So that was another reason why I kind of backtrack on writing the autobiography. And I said, well, let me just kind of work on the area that I'm very familiar with. I love
Absolutely.
working with kids. At the time,
Okay.
I was working at a mental health facility for kids between the ages of 8 all the way up to 20, 21 years of age.
Which I think is awesome. That's so ironic that we're talking about that, because it is Mental Health Awareness Month.
Absolutely.
So it's so important that we are
Absolutely.
talking about this. Go ahead, continue. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. Yeah, so I was working at the mental health facility, but I've also worked with other group homes. I volunteered my time working with kids.
Gotcha.
Not only that, a couple years after that, I am starting my own nonprofit organization.
Awesome, man.
It was operating in Charleston, South Carolina. It was going on for a good bit. I became overwhelmed because I was the only mentor, and I was handling a lot of kids.
So I got a question for you. Being a paraprofessional, at that time when you were doing that, what were some of the challenges that you faced being a paraprofessional? I did it for a little while too, but how was it at the time when you were in there? First, let's talk about the challenges, but did you have problems writing your notes at the end of the night? And did it frustrate that OSHA would change the notes so much? And why do they do that? Go ahead.
OSHA we didn't deal directly with OSHA, even though we were under OSHA because of the company. The only people that I dealt with when it came to the documentation was administration, the administrators.
Okay.
The people who did the executive director and my direct supervisor who was over me. So those are pretty much the only people that dealt with my paperwork.
Okay, understood.
But at the end of the night...
So you would write it, but they would be the ones that actually send them in.
Yeah.
Okay, so they probably have to tell you. Did they ever have to tell you, hey, can you rewrite this? Or you were pretty much good at your job, or you didn't have to?
Yeah, I was pretty much good with my job, but still, like everybody, we're all not perfect. Every once in a while,
sure,
maybe quite a few times, hey, be mindful of this. Be watchful of this.
Sure.
When it comes to documentation, because documentation was very important when it came to that demographic. How do I know that? Because that same exact job terminated me, even though it wasn't my fault when it came to the paperwork.
Right.
But, well, I take that back. I will take some fault in that because I signed off on the paperwork that these people, that my employees, because I was the program supervisor, so I ran the whole milieu.
So it's like one of those things like you knew where you erred at on that one. I got you.
If you're checking the documentation and you're working with these kids and you checking documentation and something happened to happen and you signed off on it, so yes, it's going to come back to you. So I should have paid attention to that, and that's why I was pretty much terminated. It wasn't necessarily that I did something to the residents that was there, but it was just more so my documentation. I signed off on the documentation, not recognizing, not paying attention to what I was doing.
I got you.
Because it became routine. At the end of the night, y'all paperwork's here. Let me sign off all of them. Because I'm signing like at any given moment, it can be up to 30, 40 residents, kids on that milieu.
Wow.
So I'm signing 30, 40 pieces of paper. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
thank you for that insight on in the mental health sector right there, because I know people still work. Quite a few people still work, and some people will actually recognize and hear some of the familiar things that you're talking about as it pertains to the business.
Right.
But let's go back. So you wrote the book in 2014, 2016 in that area.
Right.
I know that you are ex-military. So did you write it while you was in the military?
No, sir. I got out the military in 2006.
So how did you deal with social anxiety in the military? Let's go back a little bit. How did you deal with it? Did you get diagnosed in the military or before?
I got diagnosed when I was in my 30s. This is after
the military.
Career. Yeah.
So let's talk about the military right quick. Let's go ahead and get into it. So how did you deal with, when you look back on it, let's talk about military life, and then let's talk about the social anxieties that you were probably dealing with while in the military.
So dealing with social anxiety while in the military, I had to, this is why it was very important for me to add that piece into the children's book. I always, and I still to this day, I always have to resort back to those words. My mother always tell me, you got it. You can do it. Okay. It's always take a deep breath. Have faith. That's my mother, she's real big on faith.
Absolutely.
Faith. So it's those words that I take with me everywhere and every place that I go that just kind of reminds me, hey, just you got to push through it. Believe in yourself, trust in yourself, everything is good.
Gotcha.
So dealing with social anxiety while being in the military is tough, it's hard because basic training, your squadron or your flight in the Air Force, because I was in the Air Force for 6 years.
Okay.
Shout out to 320 Training Squadron.
Okay then.
Say, let me stop.
I'm not mad at it.
AKA The Rock. Say, let me stop. Matter of fact, myself and my oldest brother, we went to the same squadron. And my brother flight TI was my oldest brother's TI. So when he's sending me messages, letters in basic training, come to find out, he was like, Tech Sergeant Gaskin. And I was like, oh, that's my brother flight's TI. So
I got you.
But anyways,
I got you.
Dealing with that, because you're around so many people, so many energies that you're not used to, that you don't know.
Sure.
It's like it. You have to force and push yourself, because mom is not here no more.
Yeah.
I can't just run downstairs to the patio area, pick up the phone, and say, "Hey, mom, I'm dealing with this." Nah, that's why her words resonate with me to this day.
Gotcha.
Because I understood at some point I was never, or I wasn't going to always be around my mother.
Sure.
So it was just me having to just stand up in those situations and say, "Hey, look, you got it. You can handle it. Take a deep breath. Put your back against the wall, and let's just keep pushing. Let's keep pressing
So
forward."
once you ETS'd, that's when you decided, hey, I'm going to find out exactly what's wrong.
Yeah, well, it took a couple of years.
Okay.
It took a couple of years because I got out in 2006, and then I didn't find out until 2012, 13-ish.
Got you.
Yeah, this when I was living in Charleston, South Carolina.
Okay.
So I finally decided to go see a therapist, and sat down with them, and they diagnosed me. It's weird, man, because this therapist also thought that I was lying. I sat with two therapists, and two therapists. They both diagnosed me, and they both sat there and said that I was lying. The second therapist that I had, it was out here in Charlotte.
Yeah.
When I first moved down here to North Carolina area, I went and I sat with a therapist again, because after the first one told me that she thought I was lying, I was like, man, ain't no point in me doing this.
Right. I got you.
Why am I going to sit here and talk to you and you're sitting here telling me that I'm lying?
Mm-hmm.
And this is why a lot of times a lot of black people don't go to therapists.
I was just about to say that.
Because whenever we get into a therapist's office, they don't believe our story.
Right.
This is why I believe it's important for us black people, if you're choosing to go see a therapist, find somebody the same color as you.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Because they understand where you're coming from.
Okay.
They know that when you're talking about these things and you're telling your stories and you're telling how you feel, you're telling how you're dealing with the stuff mentally, emotionally, and physically, with whatever you're dealing with, they understand.
Okay.
And both those people who told me that they believed that I was lying, both were white. One was a woman and one was a man.
Wow.
Yep.
I get that perspective.
Yeah.
I totally get that perspective. I have a black female who is my therapist, but I've also had a white female who was my therapist. Both of them were good. So my experience with black and white have been good, but I must say they both were females.
Word.
So it might have came across a little different from my black female and my white female, but they both were on the same page.
Right.
So, but I do respect and understand your perspective and where
man.
you're coming from with that.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So they was able to diagnose. Were you able to get diagnosed when they found out you were diagnosed with social anxiety?
Yeah.
So did you have to take medicine at all, Wu?
They tried to recommend it, but I'm not taking no medicine, man.
I respect it.
I'm not taking.
And can you give your reasons why you decided not to take the medication?
Addiction.
Okay.
I'd rather not somebody put me on something and it becomes an addiction to control my mental state, my emotions, and my physical well-being, all because I'm dealing with something mentally. I don't feel like I need meds to help me control that. Give me coping skills,
yes,
or some coping methods to help deal with that. You want to know how I know that works?
Sure.
That's why my mother did it. She gave me coping skills. They may have been words.
Yeah.
Hey, son, have faith.
Yeah.
Hey, son, you can do it. Same thing y'all talk about, those affirmations. She
Yes.
gave me affirmations,
Yes.
which were coping skills to help me just kind of give myself that
Right.
pep talk when she wasn't around.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? As I grew older, I recognized that I needed something a little bit more than my mother's voice. So activities and hobbies take care of that.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Music
Keeping
takes care
yourself
of that.
busy.
Meditating, praying. You know what I'm saying? Exercising.
Got you.
You know, I got a camera in my hand.
Yes.
So let me go. Hey, babe, I'm about to hop in the car and I'm about to go take some pictures downtown.
Yeah.
So those things like that
Okay.
helps me
Yeah.
Maintain everything else that I deal with. Helps me maintain my social anxiety as well as anxiety, because I'm diagnosed. I've been clinically diagnosed with social anxiety,
Okay.
anxiety,
Yes.
and depression.
I got you.
So
I got you.
and a lot of people don't know I've dealt with that too.
I got you.
Close people.
Yes.
I've shared that with. I lie. I may have shared that on Facebook, but for the most part, I don't talk to too many people about it.
Sure, man.
That's just something I usually try to keep to myself unless we're
but I
having a
understand that.
conversation. Yeah,
But I understand that. Everybody's not at the place in their life where they can be transparent about something like that.
Right.
I totally get it, and I
Right.
totally understand it. But guess what? You just did.
Word.
But hopefully it helps somebody.
Exactly.
See, I was clinically diagnosed probably about a year or two ago, but I've learned also to deal with mine. Now, the difference, I will say, and I want to say this to everybody out here now, that we're not acting as if we know it all. We're not acting like we're doctors.
Right.
And we have all the answers to your situation if you're dealing with depression and anxiety of any. So this is
Right.
from Mr. Washington's perspective. We want to make
Right.
sure that we say that, because I'm totally opposite from Mr. Washington.
Mm-hmm.
I take medication, but the medication is good for it, brother. And it helps my chemical imbalance be
Word.
a little better.
Word.
But it's not to take away from his perspective
Right.
and what his beliefs are. We want to
Right.
make sure that we say that
Absolutely.
everybody can make their own decisions.
Absolutely.
You have a brain, you have a mind. Make your
Yeah.
own decisions that's best for you and your life.
Yeah, I
So-
second that.
Yes.
I 100% agree with what he's saying.
Yeah,
Choose the path that's going to make you better.
absolutely.
Choose the path that's going to make your environment better,
Absolutely.
healthy, and safe. And that's
Yes.
why I encourage people to do. Like I said, for me, it just wasn't for me, but whatever is doing for you,
Yes.
do it.
Do it. Exactly.
You know what I'm
Just
saying?
take care of yourself.
Absolutely.
So that's keep pushing forward, keep moving forward like you've done with your life.
Right.
And let's go into what you're doing now.
Absolutely.
Because, bro, you ill with it.
I appreciate it, man. It's a lot of time, hard work, studying.
Yes,
It's
sir.
a lot of studying, learning, understanding, and practice.
Yes.
Thank God I got 3 beautiful children at home. I got 4 total. My oldest, 26. She's in Columbia, South Carolina. Shout out to Jazzy.
Right
Love you,
on.
baby girl.
All right.
Yeah.
Beautiful, man. Beautiful.
That's my oldest. And then, I got my 11-year-old, Riley. I got my 8-year-old, Riri. And then I got my son,
For sure.
my boy, Buddy, a.k.a. the Sour Patch Kid, my boy. Yeah, man.
Beautiful, man.
Yeah, and
Beautiful.
then I got
Beautiful.
my wife. So they're all my muses, man.
Mm.
So while I'm studying, while I'm learning, looking at YouTube, I tell everybody I'm a YouTube University graduate first.
I love it.
Before I got my first college degree,
I
I
love
graduated from YouTube. I sat on YouTube.
Yes.
I mean, I remember when I finally decided to say, hey, look, I'm going to take this photography stuff serious. I had a whole dry erase board, Ross, of the different topics that I needed to study so I could understand this stuff.
Yeah.
And I would just sit there and just go through YouTube and pick out which videos that I wanted to watch, and for hours. And then after I'm sitting there done, hey, babe, can you come outside and take this picture? Hey,
Yeah.
Riley, you want to Riri? Hey, Bud, come in. Can y'all take these pictures for me?
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's how it started.
Yeah.
I never wanted to do video though.
Really?
Never.
So
I was
you
scared to do video because I didn't know how the editing process went.
Oh yeah, that's a tedious.
Yeah, it is.
long and tedious job, though.
Absolutely.
Mm.
But thank God for Riley and Riri, my daughters. Shout out to them.
Oh, that's sweet.
One day,
Yeah.
my wife, especially during the summertime, on Sundays, that was usually our picnic days.
Sure.
We would go downtown Winston-Salem, Bailey Park,
Okay. Yeah.
pack sandwiches, chips, juice,
Yeah.
snacks,
Old
fruits.
school.
And we would just sit out there in
Yeah.
Bailey Park and just let the kids play.
It's
Her and I would
beautiful.
just sit down, just talk. We would get up, play with the kids, volleyball, soccer, football, bubbles, play some music in the background. So one day we went out there and it was like, hey, Dad, can you bring your camera?
Ah.
And I was like, oh, yeah, I can take some pictures. They was like, no, we want to start our YouTube page. Can you do a YouTube video for us?
Oh man, love it.
So I got nervous for a second. I got nervous because I was trying to.
Crazy it is out here.
Yeah, because I was trying to duck and dodge that. Because, like I said, I was interested in it, but I didn't want to do it. But we went out there, we shot the video, and I came home. I downloaded the software and I put it together, and then the rest was history.
You fell in love with it.
Jumped right back on YouTube University again, learning everything about it.
Yeah,
learning everything about it. I'm learning about different types of cameras, different type of lenses,
Yeah.
lighting. I'm learning about everything now. So
Yeah.
I'm like, oh man,
yeah,
I done got bit by the bug.
yeah.
And then fast forward a couple years after that, my wife, she was about to graduate from LA Film School with her degree in music production. So I enrolled at the same school.
Man, y'all just an artistic family,
We
man.
are, man.
Creative family.
We are.
That's
man.
beautiful.
And that's why I love my wife. That's why I love my kids.
Yeah.
Even my oldest daughter.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, she just sent me a text message yesterday with a link, and her poem that she wrote.
Don't spoil it.
You want to interview her?
I want to interview her.
I got you.
Y'all
got
won't
you.
have to wait on that.
Yes, sir. Jazzy, get ready because you're going to be interviewed
Yes,
by
sir.
Yes, sir. By Mr. Ross Cloud
Yes, sir.
himself. So
yes,
yeah.
sir.
So
go ahead, brother.
You know what? So
but I got you. But hold that.
I'm gonna save it. So
'Cause we got a lot of gems and jewels that we're gonna bring on this platform.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
That's right. And I have full access. Dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun. You know what I'm saying?
Word. And I'm gonna make sure I'm sitting here right here recording
For
too.
sure. Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
So like I said, my wife, she went to not Full Sail, but she went to LA Film School. So her going back to school, it sparked me wanting to go back to school. So I enrolled at LA Film School at first, but the VA was taking so long with the paperwork to pay for the school.
Hurry
so
up and wait.
I fell back, and then I was going back and forth with my VA voc rehab counselor about getting the paperwork so I can go to school so I wouldn't have to pay anything.
Yes, sir.
Like months, it literally took about like 2-3 months. And I finally got in contact with somebody and said, hey, look, my VA counselor, she's not doing her job. I sent all the paperwork I was supposed to send in. I reached out to the school. I even started taking a class, and I had to stop and fall back because they was telling me the VA didn't send the proper paperwork to fund me going to school.
Wow.
I was like, okay, cool. Went back online, and I started doing my research again, and then Full Sail popped up. I've heard of Full Sail before. As a matter of fact, I got a cousin. She graduated years ago with the same exact degree, digital cinematography from Full Sail University. Shout out to Toya. She just got married, too.
All right,
Yeah,
man.
Toya.
Congratulations, Toya.
Yeah, Toya Prelude.
All right.
She just got married, so but yeah, so I'm online, I'm searching different schools and stuff like that. Full Sail pops up, and I was like, I remember this. But at the time, I didn't know that they did digital cinematography or they did stuff with like videos.
Really?
I thought it was just a school for like music production.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I thought it was.
Mm-hmm.
Later is when I found out that my cousin, she graduated from there. But anyway, so yeah, I jumped on there, filled out the information, got accepted to the school, and then while I'm sitting there doing that, boom, a VA voc rehab counselor called me, and she was like, hey, look, I reviewed your stuff. I apologize. We're going to push your stuff through today. She was like, do you know where you want to go? I said, yeah, I want to go to Full Sail. She said, have you already started the process? Yeah. Boom. Like 2 days, everything was taken care of.
Man, it's a blessing.
They paid for everything and all that. That's why, part of the reason why I got all this beautiful video equipment that I have now. Yeah, man.
Yeah, I hear people knock and say a black man don't deserve or don't belong in the military.
I deserve it
but
all.
But boy, I tell you, there are
it,
some benefits because of your service to the military.
Absolutely.
To this country. So
absolutely.
Say what you want. There are some benefits behind you doing it.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
you can become. It will empower you in some form or fashion.
Yeah, they will. They will.
You got to just do the right thing and do the paperwork.
Yeah,
that's it. And wait.
And be patient.
Be patient.
Yeah, man.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
I was patient enough, and I enrolled, and I graduated. And I made a post of this.
Congratulations,
I
man.
appreciate it, man.
I'm proud of you, man.
Thank you.
I'm proud of you. I know you. I know your story.
Yeah.
I know your journey, but I wanted to tell people about this and just your energy alone. You as a person, your entire family. I've met the entire family.
Word.
You just have an amazing family. You're a beautiful individual, and your family is too, black man. And I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
We
Russ.
don't do that enough.
We sure don't.
But
man.
I want to tell you, I'm proud of you, man. And I love you, man.
Man,
you
listen,
know what I'm saying?
I love you,
brother.
I love you too.
Yes.
And I appreciate you too.
Absolutely.
I'm going to give you your flowers on the radio, though, man. Because we talked about this before.
Yeah.
Because you reached out to me.
Yeah.
And we talked like men.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's very, very important in our community.
Yeah.
Is that we just talk as men, as brothers.
Yep.
It ain't no beef, it ain't no animosity, nothing like that.
No, we
Let's
talked.
just talk. We talked.
We talked.
I was out of town in New York with the family.
Yes, you were.
And we talked for about
You gave me a good 30 minutes.
Yeah.
You gave me a good solid 30 minutes.
Yeah.
I was like, man,
Yeah.
you're out of town. So, but I wanted to reach out.
The reason why I made sure I had that time because it was needed. And, you know, I know your sister. Me and your sisters had plenty of. Your sister has had plenty of conversations.
Sure.
She understood. She seen and she knew.
Yeah, for sure.
And one thing she kept saying, time. When that time comes, y'all gonna talk.
Yeah,
Hey,
we'll get a
James.
chance to talk.
And that's like, hey James, y'all wanna talk? You know what I mean?
Well, that's it.
Tanya. I love
Yes,
Tanya. I
man,
love you.
love
I love
sis.
Tanya,
Yes,
man.
man.
So
yeah.
But yeah, man. So you know, like I said, I graduated college.
Man, congratulations, man.
I remember saying this too, man. I kept telling people throughout the years.
Yeah.
I don't care if it took me 20 years.
You was going to do
I was
it.
going to do that.
And you did.
I did it.
And you did, brother.
I did it my way.
You did it your way.
And that was the downfalls and the pitfalls that I struggled with throughout the years in getting a degree.
Talk about that.
I went to school for psychology at first.
Mm-hmm.
Really wasn't me.
Yeah.
Went to school for business. Yes, I own 2 businesses now.
Yes.
Lunchbox Dreams Media Group, LLC.
Come on, talk it.
Lunchbox Dreams, the mentoring
Talk
program.
it.
You know what I mean?
Well, you about to make me sound like the Migos. Walk it like a talk it.
Europe.
Giving them ad libs.
Europe. So,
Yeah.
I went to school for business.
Mm-hmm.
Went to school for criminal justice.
Yeah.
I went to school for social work. Just wasn't for me. Like I was living in the identity of what I thought society would accept me as.
Mm-hmm.
Forgetting that I was a creative. Since I was a kid, man, I saw that. Like you could ask my family, I had a notebook. That's all I used to do was just draw. Initially, I wanted to be a cartoon animator. That's how much I was drawing. Mm-hmm. But just to be able to create, period.
I still can see that lane opening up for you, though.
Oh.
When I saw the children's book, and I won't go into everything else,
I
but
paint too.
I can see that because,
man,
I digress.
Yeah, I got some paint. I mean, I paint. So I do a lot of canvas work. I've sold a good bit of those too, man. And I'm gonna start to get back into.
Well, I need a canvas piece.
I got you. I got you. See,
I know.
I'm whatever comes to mind, whatever comes to spirit, whatever comes to my soul, whatever I feel, that's what I just pretty much put on canvas.
Yeah,
that's how I do it. But yeah, man, like I said, I tried so many different paths into getting a degree, but it just wasn't me. And then when that camera came into my hand, man,
you knew
that changed all that.
Yeah, that's a beautiful thing. That's something we discussed earlier. How that when you do, but you know what's so crazy with you saying that? My mom said the same thing to me.
Really?
She said, "Well, one way to figure out what it is. First of all, figure out is what you want to do before you even start. And a lot of times, before we start school, sometimes we don't know what we're going to do, and sometimes it almost is so we become so fatigued."
Yep.
Depression does set in, and you're
Absolutely.
like, man, the heck with this. I'm not going to school. It's too much to think about.
Man.
And then you find something that you love,
and you just dive
head first in it. I went through that same thing, and I'm in the process of going back too. So I think what happens is, number one, you become mature.
Right.
you become really truthful about your situation and say, okay, this is how I can do this.
Right.
Now it's a strategy to do it now.
Right.
It's not about getting it quick.
Right.
It's about, okay, I got a strategy now.
Absolutely.
I got to weigh in football practices. I got to weigh in being a husband. I got to weigh in career.
Cheerleading practices, vocal lessons.
Yeah, whatever it is that you're
man.
doing, you got to find a balance and to fit that time in. Where is your idle time at?
Working full time.
Working full time, right?
Mm-hmm.
So once you figure out, okay, I got a lot of idle time at this time, this will be the perfect time for me to study.
Right.
Right then and there. That's what I've been looking at before I go head first in. I'm looking at where I have the time.
Guess what?
Come on.
That's going to change too. Because I had it planned for myself, but all that changed once I got to school. It's been
Talk
plenty
about
of
it.
times I'm up to 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. One of my daughters is coming out, looking in the living room and seeing me on my computer. Dad, you still up? Yeah.
Yeah.
It takes that dedication.
Yeah.
Me and my wife, we're the first two up.
Wow.
My wife usually gets up like at 4. I used to get up around 4:32.
Yeah.
Now I get up around 5:30. But we get up, and then I am the last one to fall asleep.
I'm a 3:30 brother. My wife would tell you, I'm up 3:30 every morning preparing my day.
Mm-hmm.
Some days, of course, there's nothing to do. Didn't mean to cut you off,
No, you good.
but I feel like it's true what they say: the early bird catches the worm.
Absolutely.
And you have to establish that work ethic
Yep.
before the money comes.
Absolutely, man.
So that when the money comes, you already used to the work, because it's
Exactly.
going to intensify
Yeah.
once folks start saying, well, "Okay, we're going to give you $500,000 to do this. We
That's right.
expect you to produce."
Exactly.
So yeah, 3:30 in the morning is where my day starts.
Word.
Prayer, then 4 o'clock editing, making sure everything is straight with
Word.
this. Coming here, praying, meditating. So it doesn't stop.
Right.
It's always a grind. Sometimes I come in here and there's nothing for me to do.
Right.
But I love that you just said that.
Yeah,
the
man.
work, that's where the work starts.
Yeah, it does.
At home, behind the closed doors, when
Yeah.
ain't nobody watching.
My mother and father gave us that. They implemented that work ethic in
Yeah.
us.
Yeah.
I'm talking about like to a T.
Yeah. That's right.
Neatness.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? What's the cleanliness next to godliness?
It's true.
It's like stuff like that they implemented
Lord
to
have
myself
mercy.
and my siblings.
Well, we watch walls, corners. I
Man,
told my
let-
son that. I
let me-
told Nico
I
that.
was just about to say,
He
let-
was looking at me like, watch walls.
Exactly.
Oh, bro, yeah, bleach, Pine Sol.
Man,
But
and
we was
listen,
on our hands and knees watching the
my
toilet,
son-
making sure,
Bro, my son is a graffiti artist.
do you make him clean the walls, Woo?
Man, listen, he's 5 years. He just turned 5.
Oh,
Shout
yeah.
out to Bud. That's my son. Man, that like I still look at him to this day and just look and see how big he's getting, man. I'm just
Yeah,
amazed at him.
yeah.
But not just
Wait
him.
till you
It's
start passing your
all of-
shoes on, too.
He know he ain't touching my shoes.
Yeah, my son, man.
Nah,
Tell you
because
something, Nico can wear my shoes,
I love.
bro.
It's not. I don't
I've
care.
given him a pair. I don't even care, but
Guess what?
I've
Me-
given him a pair.
me-
Several pair.
Elijah. I don't care how old you are. All right. You can wear a size 9, 9.5. You know you are not touching my shoes, son.
Now this is recorded now.
I love sneakers, man.
Okay.
Let me,
Y'all
let me-
gonna be fighting
Let me
about
tell
these
you why.
sneakers then.
Let me tell you why I have a love and I have a passion for sneakers.
Sure.
Growing up, see, a lot of times people used to think my parents were rich. Nah, my parents were just smart about their money.
I like the way you said that.
They were just smart about their money.
Yeah.
My father and my mother made sure that we had what we had. We
Yeah.
needed what we needed. We got what we needed.
Absolutely.
But my love and my passion for sneakers came from this. From Aberdeen, Maryland. And on Route 40 going towards Havre de Grace. All my peoples, y'all listen to me. Y'all know about Ames on 40 going towards Havre de Grace. We was walking at Ames. This was around Christmas time.
The shoe shop.
Yep.
Okay.
I had to be around 6th, 7th grade.
Okay.
Now, this is the time frame where impressions is very important. I can't walk up in there with any old type of sneakers.
Right.
But I was scared to ask my mom and dad for those type of sneakers.
Yeah.
Majority of the time, they weren't going to buy for us.
Oh, no,
as long
sir.
as you had them. But anyways, we walking around at Ames. My mom, she picked up these pair of shoes. She was like, hey, Pooh. That's my other nickname, Pooh.
Okay.
See, my homeboys and everything in the school, they know me as Woo. But my family know me as Pooh. But my mom, she said, hey, Pooh, what you think about these shoes? She pick them up.
Yeah.
Now, you know, as a kid, if you say, nah, I don't like them shoes, why you don't like them? Oh, you think money grow on trees?
Oh, yes,
I ain't spending
sir.
all that bunch of money to get you Jordans. So at the time, you know,
Man.
I didn't want to argue. I was just like, oh, yeah, they look nice.
Mm-hmm.
They were Spaldings, man. Now, me not knowing what's going on, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, yeah, Mom. Yeah, Mom. Yo, these are nice. So, a couple days go past, Christmas time come, man.
Yeah.
Christmas Day come, I open that box, them same Spalding sneakers. And I had to go to school with them on, man. Embarrassed because people talked about me. They made fun of me, but I still went to school with them sneakers. Kept them clean, too.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So I always told myself, once I get older,
I
and
get
can
it.
get my own money.
I get it.
So that's where my love and my passion for sneakers come
I
from.
get
is
it. I
because
get it.
That moment
I'm going
right
to tell you
there.
right now, I understand. To this day.
Right.
To this day,
Uh-huh.
I asked my mama. I'll never forget it. You remember when everybody was wearing fat laces?
Yeah.
So Pumas and Adidas was out.
Yes, sir.
I saw this guy. His name was Chris Brooks.
Same name as you, too.
Yeah, Chris Brooks. He was the cool dude in school.
Right.
He had the Jerry curl.
Right.
He wore the sweatband. He wore the Levi's.
Right.
Had the fat laces and the suede Pumas.
Mm.
But on this day, he wore the fat laces and the suede Adidas.
Ooh.
And he came to school with the pinstripe Lees on.
Right.
Sweatshirt that said Adidas on it.
He come up in there looking like
Yeah,
Run DMC for real.
and he had the spikes. You remember back in the day?
Yeah.
When the rappers, we
He's
used spikes and
Broken glass.
yeah, everywhere, right? So he walk in there, I see him, I'm like, oh man, I want me a pair of them suede Adidas. So I go home, I say, Mama, I want some suede Adidas and I want them fat laces.
Right.
Because at the time, Pumas were kind of pricey,
Right.
suede Pumas. My mom was like, ain't getting you no suede Pumas. So I was like, I know she'll give me the suede
Right.
Adidas. So we went to shoe show. I think it might have been Pick and Pay.
Man, I remember Pick and Pay.
Man, we went to Pick and Pay. We walked around.
Uh-huh.
We was looking. She pulled them out. I was like, that's them. Yes, Mama. Me not knowing. You ain't gonna get no Adidas at not
Right.
suede Adidas at Pick and Pay, yo.
Right.
Right? So I said, she picked them up. She was like, these what you talking about? I said, yeah, that's them. And then the shoe guy, he came over and he said, yeah, these are Cougars.
Not Pumas. Cougars.
These are Cougars. I said, Mama, them ain't got the right amount of stripes on them. She said, well, these gonna be Adidas today, boy.
Man, listen.
Man, my mama bought them and I had to wear them to school. And I cried.
Right.
I said, Mom, they gonna pick at me. They gonna pick it. She said, oh,
Right.
them children don't know nothing.
Man.
Boy, you clean. Man, I went to school
Right.
and they picked on me because I
Yeah,
had on
man.
suede Cougars.
I remember it. And to this day,
But I kept them clean.
to this day, I'm still a fan of sneakers.
Yeah,
But I understand, being a parent now, I understand where my mother and father came from.
I do too now.
There's been times, man, we
I
didn't
do too
necessarily
now.
had it.
I do
have
too
it
now.
for the kids.
Yeah, I do too now.
You know what I'm saying? But thank God, you know,
Mm-hmm.
it's changed. We're able to provide and do for our kids the
Sure.
way that we can, thankfully.
Sure, absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
but yeah,
man. So that was a great story.
Yes, sir.
In moments. So let's go back to the photography.
Yes, sir.
Let's talk about photography. We got about 15 minutes left.
Okay.
Let's talk about photography and what photography means to you as a person, as career-wise. What does it absolutely mean to you?
Photography means, I remember talking to my brother one day. This is when I first got into photography, and I texted him, and I was like, bruh, man, this camera puts me into a different world. I just got back in the house because I had walked around the neighborhood for a little bit, just taking pictures. I'm taking pictures of like just flowers, squirrels,
Yeah.
the apartment complex that I was staying at the time.
Mm-hmm.
But it was putting me into a different world.
Mm-hmm.
It gave me that peace. It gave me that happiness.
So it's almost like you are like some runners get when they get that runner's high. You're absolutely on a high at that moment.
Absolutely,
Okay,
man.
gotcha.
So yeah, that's what it did for me. That's what it does for me.
Mm-hmm.
Other than just the pure love and passion behind it, man, photography, cinematography is everything to me.
Yeah.
Where it's going at in the future,
Yeah.
right now, it's Lunchbox Streams Media Group
Right
LLC.
Yes, sir.
That's
I love it.
that's my video and photography production company.
I love it.
Where I specialize in behind the scenes content, documentaries, short documentaries, one day full length documentary, corporate interview styles, promo videos. I've done a few music videos here and there. That's not really my cup of tea, but
Sure.
just being able to do what I love to do,
Yeah.
not have to go back to nobody else's place of work,
Mm-hmm.
slave for them.
Yeah.
I work for myself.
Independent.
Just doing what
Just
I
doing
love
what
to
you
do.
love to do.
Living life and living it happy,
Yeah.
doing what I love to do.
What are some of the favorite things that you like to shoot, Woo?
I like shooting people. And
I'm a witness to that.
and I like shooting people in their natural environment.
Yeah.
I've had people ask me, "Hey, do you do high end fashion?" I'm pretty sure I can.
Right.
I just like shooting everyday people
Mm.
and allowing them to really capture and see. Oh my gosh, I really am beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yo, I really am fly.
Yeah.
Hey yo, are you serious?
Yeah.
Is this how I look on it? Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing.
It's an eye.
Absolutely, it's an eye.
That's what,
literally
that's what
an
these
eye.
cameras
That's
are.
all it is.
It's an eye.
That's right.
And it creates memories and moments for people to actually see themselves in beauty.
I love it.
See, what I'm doing for Ross Cloud, though,
Yeah.
it's an opportunity for me to help my brother out to spread his word and motivating,
Yes, sir.
inspiring,
Yep.
encouraging people
Just to become better.
with innovative conversations
Yes, sir.
to be better people.
That's right. That's what it's all about to me.
Exactly.
Yeah. And you are capturing that. And
Yes,
I'm
sir.
excited about it. So when you hear names like Spike Lee,
The GOAT.
Gordon Parks,
The
GOAT.
like Gordon Parks. His documentary just came out. It's
Yeah,
about-
it did. I got to
So-
check it out. I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah.
But it's going to be a must see.
I just got chills, man.
Mario Van Peebles. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of times we forget about these
These are the-
great individuals.
These are the GOATs, man.
They're the GOATs, man.
Yeah. These are the people who laid the foundation for
Yes,
people like
sir.
myself to be able
Man, talk about
to
it.
come out and do it. The reason why I like Gordon Parks, Mario Van Peebles, and Spike Lee is because they cater to us.
Yes, sir.
They tell our story through visuals.
Yes, they do.
People don't understand. People
They don't. They don't.
Photographers, cinematographers, you are storytellers and you are artists.
Talk about it.
Don't let nobody tell you that you're not.
Yes, sir.
Because a lot of people will just look at you as being somebody who just hold the camera. No. When you look through that lens, you see something completely different from what everybody else sees. That's why you have developed that skill. That's why God gave you the gift and talent to be able to see through that lens
Yes, sir.
the way that you can. So live in it, be in it, and do it, man.
That's right.
So
I tell you, man. I think about Muhammad Ali's photographer, Howard Bingham.
man.
Bingham. I hope I pronounced his name right.
Yeah, I think you did.
When I think about his work, look at
Right.
what he captured.
Yeah, man.
I mean, we got so much beauty.
right.
And we have some great female photographers too.
Absolutely,
I haven't
man.
called their names yet because I don't know them, and we need to highlight them more.
Absolutely.
But hopefully, we can have more. More.
There's
but,
some dope
man,
women,
Yes.
black women photographers
Talk,
out in
yes, man.
Charlotte.
Mm.
Also, shout out to Alexis Skills. I don't know if you've seen that the pictures I did of the young lady, the pregnancy pictures I did. She's a photographer as well, and she has
Really?
her own style. I met her when I first moved out here at a meetup, and I always knew that I wanted to kind of like get pictures of her. Matter of
Sure.
fact, that video.
I know you shared.
She
you
has a
shared it.
yellow. She has a yellow dress on.
Yes. She's a photographer.
That's
correct.
Alexis. Yes.
Yeah, she's dope.
She's dope, man.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Alexis, I'm gonna try to get you on the team.
Yeah.
You know, 'cause, I really like her style. I like her
Yeah.
vibe. She's really dope, man. So yeah, I love people like that. I like people like that. But she's one out here. She's in Winston-Salem. She just had a baby not too long ago. Shout out to her.
Congratulations! Yeah.
Yep. She allowed me to capture her.
I saw those. They were beautiful. They were absolutely beautiful. Some of the work.
Yeah, man.
I've seen a lot of the work you've done thus far, but I've always seen the progression. I've seen the progression of your work too.
Appreciate it, man.
Even from the first time that we met to see where you are now.
Progress, man.
It is progress.
Progression.
But you're working at your craft, though, and that's so important that we work at our craft to solidify our craft.
Absolutely.
And I think that's wonderful.
Just me, man. You too, bro.
Oh, yeah.
I told you be studying too, man.
I do.
You showed me something earlier before we turned the cameras on. I was like, oh, yo, you doing your studying, bro.
Oh, man. I'm absolutely doing my studying.
Right.
Absolutely doing my studying. And it has totally been just totally just. I got distracted, y'all. Excuse me.
That's all right, man. And it's Auntie saying, man.
That's
she
right.
good. It's Auntie saying, man. That's who it is. I'm gonna call her. She. Auntie, I just adopted you as one of my new aunts. Okay. So
exactly.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, but yeah, the importance of studying. I'm actually doing some studying. As we speak, you know, I'm constantly always researching, constantly always studying film, watching people as they do their craft in journalism.
Absolutely.
But I also am an avid. You know how you can buy those master classes.
Yeah.
I'm an avid believer in that.
Gotcha.
So I watch master classes. I pay for them. Because it's a small investment back into, and I think if you use those tools, they actually work. If you get away from the mindset, I'm trying to be famous. Nah, man, you ain't trying to be famous. You're trying to work at a craft to become great.
I encourage
people to create legendary work.
Absolutely, I encourage people to do this.
Yeah,
find your niche. Once you find your niche, invest in it. Because I did the same thing.
I'm doing it now. Yeah, no.
This is guy in Houston, Texas. I'm not going to put his name out there like that.
Yeah.
He's a dope dude. There's nothing wrong with him.
Sure.
Bump it. Brendan Washington. He's Houston, Texas, or somewhere in Texas.
Yeah.
He's a photographer and cinematographer.
Wow.
And he put out a course helping cinematographers just kind of grow their business.
Yeah.
What he does is my niche. That's why I encourage people, find your niche, invest into it, and then do it.
I'm gonna tell you something, man. I'm proud of you. I can't speak about what he just did right now for the sake of privacy and everything, but he just did some amazing things here recently. Wu did.
Word.
And out of respect, I won't speak about it because he has to be as private as he can be.
Right.
But he did something pretty amazing, and one day we'll be able to tell the full story of some of his experience and what he just experienced.
Absolutely.
Because when I saw it, I was like, what? Go, brother, go.
Word,
so to really see where he has, what he has done, but to see where he's going.
Right.
And I'm proud. I'm very proud to know you, first of all.
Right.
But to also to be someone to say, go.
Word.
No matter what, go.
Let me tell y'all something. Hold on, I got to cut you because this was what he's talking about is very important.
Yeah.
So I got the opportunity to work with some A-list people.
Yes, sir.
Thank God for the opportunity. I received the email out of the blue.
Yeah.
How it came about, how they got my information, how did they find me? I do not know. I don't care. But the opportunity came up and I was nervous because we were supposed to shoot that day.
Yeah, we were. But that's okay, though.
Right.
Because the good thing about that opportunity, he wants to do a part, too. So shout out to Professor Charles.
Word.
Yes, sir.
Shout out to you, Professor Charles. I appreciate it.
Yes,
Sorry I missed
sir.
that one.
Yes.
But shout out to
Professor Jones.
you, Ross, because
for sure.
I didn't want to disappoint you.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's just my heart.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? We've had conversations. We wanted to make sure that I wanted to make sure that I'd be of support to you.
No doubt.
I knew this was an opportunity, and I was like, dang, babe, what do I do? And she was just like, talk to him.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know, man.
For sure.
But something just said, just pick up your phone and call. I picked up the phone and I called you.
Yeah.
And when I called you and I told you about the opportunity, you said go.
Yes.
And when you said that on, what was it, Tuesday, Monday, Tuesday, when
it
it
was
was?
Monday or Tuesday, because we actually we still did him. It was audio.
Right.
So I think it was it Monday or Tuesday that we
It
did
was
him?
one of them days.
It was one of those days.
Yeah, it was one of those days.
Mm-hmm.
So when you said it, you showed me you was really a man about your word. Because when you started that day where we talked, when I was in New York for 30 minutes, and we talked, one of the things you said, I wanted this to be a platform not just for me, but the people in the camp.
Absolutely.
He said, Woo, I wanted to make sure that you are highlighted for your photography and your video work.
Mm-hmm.
Maisha is highlighted for her her photography. Tori is his name, right?
Tory. Yeah. Tory.
Yeah,
he's an engineer.
For the engineer.
Mm-hmm.
So Shantha, you wanted to make sure that everybody is highlighted and everybody get their due credit.
Yeah.
And when you told me that day, I said, yeah, I'm locked in with Ross.
Yeah.
Because I appreciate that. Because some people, they're going to tell you, nah, you can't do that.
I wasn't going to do that. First of all, I'm not God.
Right.
So I don't know the timing that God has for your life.
Right.
I'm doing this because I absolutely love doing it.
Word.
I'm not getting paid to do this.
Right.
And so my attitude towards it was, if I can just get a few people to come on my team to help me tap into this vision that I had.
Right.
To piggyback off of that, I'm just paying it forward.
Word.
The way I look at it, because I had an opportunity to do this for a year with the Aaron T. Jones Jet Black Empowerment Foundation.
Right.
Which with the direct connect was with CMB Studios.
Right.
I never ever take away from that.
Absolutely.
Because the opportunity gave me, yes, I wanted to do it beforehand.
Right.
But I didn't really have the know-how. Right. I had the ability to improv, but I didn't have the know-how.
Gotcha.
So I sat for a year and worked in the
Right.
nonprofit sector.
Right.
And I still do,
Right.
but not on this level.
Right.
And it gave me what I needed.
Word.
And I paid attention. It was my time to learn.
Right.
And I took advantage of being under the tutelage of both of those entities.
Right.
And learned.
Right.
Didn't asked a few questions,
Right.
but I did more visual. I did more watching.
Absolutely.
To see how things were done.
Right.
To find out how much equipment costs.
Right.
To find out what it takes to do this. But I was watching.
Right.
I saw the amount of work that it went into doing something like this.
Absolutely. And
But I said I could do it. And that's where we met at. And so I said, if I did this for a year to help promote somebody else's platform,
Right.
then I can do it for
yourself.
myself.
Absolutely.
If it is to be, it's up to me.
Absolutely.
And
It is.
so I ran with it. I began to buy equipment. What you said, I went to YouTube University.
Absolutely,
I did
man.
my research. I asked questions.
Right.
I enrolled in those master classes.
Right.
I studied. I began to work on my vocabulary. I'm still working on it. I'm still working on my vocabulary, bro,
Right,
to have
right.
more of an extensive vocabulary. I'm still working on it.
Word.
So the work doesn't stop. But I knew when I did this platform, I did want people on my team.
Word.
But I didn't want to stop them from pursuing their dreams.
Yep, and we appreciate you, man.
Oh, absolutely, man. I'm so proud of you. I'm proud of everybody on the team.
Word.
From Shantha with her makeup artist and everything else that she does.
That's right.
To Maisha and her photography and everything else that she's pursuing. To Tori.
Right.
And Tori's not here all the time, but what
Right.
Tori did was he gave me pointers.
Exactly.
He would tell me, "No, Ross, you need to fix that." Or he let me make the mistake, and when I
Right.
saw him again, he'd say, "I knew you would fix it.
That's good.
Your music was too loud
That's
on
good.
this track."
Right.
So yes, he's a part of the team, but right now he's not like essential because
Gotcha.
we're not on that big platform.
Gotcha.
But I'm preparing
Gotcha.
for the big platform. My faith is telling me, hey,
Word.
we're large, we're big.
Word.
But I needed certain tools.
Word.
And you were a perfect tool, Maisha and everybody else. But go and do what you're doing.
Absolutely.
I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing.
Word. Appreciate it, man.
Yeah,
for real.
for
Definitely
sure.
appreciate
And
it,
I
man.
appreciate you giving me the flowers, bro.
Yeah, man. But we got to do that to each other, man.
Yeah.
We got to continue we have to continue to give each other flowers
Yeah.
while we are alive, man.
Absolutely.
Too many people that's dying, passing away, and getting their flowers,
Mm.
and not being able to live in
Yes.
those moments to celebrate their accomplishments or
Yes, sir.
their good deeds towards others.
I love it. I love it.
We got to make sure we do that, man.
So listen, we're going to close out this show. We're right at an hour, my brother.
Yep.
We did it.
Word. It didn't seem like an hour.
It didn't seem like an hour. We were having a whole lot of fun in this conversation that we had on today
Word.
with the one and only Mr. James Washington Jr. We call him
Yep.
Woo.
Woo, woo, woo.
And before we close, tell the people how they can get in contact with you and the name of your company again.
Yes, sir. So my video photography production company is called Lunchbox Dreams Media Group LLC. Again, I specialize in behind the scenes documentaries, corporate interviews, and promo videos. I do photography as well. I do have a nonprofit called Lunchbox Dreams that's all tied into Lunchbox Dreams Media Group LLC. Right now we're inactive, but me and the missus, we're going to start, picking that back up to be active around here. You can catch me on social media, pretty much Instagram. You can follow both my Instagram pages. It's just me, Woo, ITSJUSTMEWOO at Instagram, and then Lunchbox Dreams Media Group. That's BOX Dreams DREAMS Media Group.
Yes, sir.
If you need to hit me up through email, lunchboxdreams@gmail.com or lunchboxdreams@icloud.com. I'm working on a new website, and I'm working on my production hub. That way you guys can find me on those two areas.
So listen, this is the Ross Cloud Podcast. I am Carl Sr. Make it a great day and keep being great. Peace.